As it today, I'm sitting in the back of my car. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm preparing for an ultra marathon. Now you may be wondering, what the hell does the back of a car have to do with an ultra marathon? Well, this actually is the first time I'm going to be camping in my car. That's why. So I need to just check that everything's going to be okay. And I thought it would be interesting to see just what you need, or at least what I'm going to be taking with me on this car camp as I prepare for my ultra marathon. The whole purpose of me going on this camp, or at least car camping, is because I need to be at the start of this race at 5. Well, I actually need to be there at like 4:30. The race starts at 5 o'clock. So I live about an hour and a half away from the race start, which means if I were to stay at home, I need to drive an hour and a half before, which means if I wanted to be there at 4:30, which means I have to leave home at 3 in the morning, which means generally I take about an hour to get ready, which means I have to get up at 2 in the morning, which is just kind of not my vibe. I'm not going to get up at 2 in the morning, go run a race. By the time I get to the start of the race, all my energy is going to be gone, you know, the excitement. I'm just going to be most likely tired and pretty cold. So I decided, why not go camping close by, and I'll just use my car as my accommodation. And that's exactly what I'm doing. But to know that I can do that, it's always good to be prepared. You know, maybe it's my scout days where I was like, okay, you know, in scouts you always be prepared is the motto of a scout. So this is me just checking, is things going to work out? Will my car and the gear that I've got be sufficient to sustain me? Another thing about this camp is it's actually going to be freezing cold. At least the temperature this morning was 3 degrees at the venue in Howick. Last year at the similar time period there was a lot of snow. So gotta prepare for being super cold. So let's check all the stuff that I'm going to need, and we'll just go through a quick list of those things. Alright, so the quick list of items that I'm going to be using with me is most importantly, it's a sleeping bag. I've got my sleeping bag. I've also got a mattress, a blow-up mattress. I've got a chair. you need a chair to sit on, and then I've got a pump. Other way, and that's to pump up the mattress. And then obviously I've got the car. Now, how we're going to sleep in the car is these back seats here. They actually fold down along with the front seat. So I'm just going to test out just what that's going to look like, and yeah, how everything looks. Maybe have a lie down, can have a nap. Yeah, it's a good time for a nap, middle of the morning. Alright, let's get these seats down. Looks like I might have something working. Let's see if we can close the boot. Okay, so let's pause. Let's climb in. I think this is the arrangement. This looks like this is how we're gonna sleep in the back. It is let's see. Yeah, it's not how I imagined it, but it will work. Okay, so that is not how we imagined this working out, but it's working. And we just have a look. Alright, so we got the mattress. Yeah, I could probably lift the seat up or give like a headboard. Let's do that. Yeah, so what I'm looking at the moment is got the two seats actually upright instead of what it was. And then I've got the mattress down. This slants downwards, which isn't great, but it'll work, you know, as long as it's functional. I'm not sure what this means for actual resting and sleeping, if you can be in this kind of angle, what that will do, that's another story. But something tells me that lying with my head on top, my feet at the bottom is going to be a better deal. I don't know, maybe you've got a different opinion, and suppose this will have to do. This was the plan. This is kind of what I've got at the moment. I'm just using what I have, and we'll I suppose if a decent night's sleep is what we're looking for. Well, there you have it. This is my car tent setup for the ultra marathon. I'm going on the KZN Trails Wessa 50-kilometer trail run on the 17th of August. I'm hoping you'll join me for the journey and cheer me along through comments, likes, all those kind of good things as I try and share things on social media. I'm not promising that I can. It'll be my first time running an official trail for this kind of distance. There is a 75-kilometer run as well that starts at 4 o'clock in the morning. I feel I'm just not ready. I'm just not there yet to take on that distance. I will be soon, but it's not now. Alright, so I hope you like this video. Tell me what other ideas I should do, or anything that you would have done differently in this car camping setup. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear your ideas. I've still got 2 weeks before the actual run or camp, so yeah, I'm hoping that you can share some information with me or some of your ideas, or maybe you've got a better experience of what is actually possible, what can be done. Cool. Oh, in case you're wondering, the reason I'm not using a tent is I have to get up pretty early, like at 3 in the morning, and I have to be ready. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like. There's just so many factors that I'm just unsure about, and I like to try and eliminate those kind of things. Introducing a tent to pack up and pack away, for me, I think would just not be ideal. And also, you know, I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like. So even though I've got a small tent, it's pretty nimble. I might take it with me just in case, but I get the feeling that setting up that tent and taking it down afterwards is going to be more work for me, and more stress to get ready in the morning just before a big run. So I'm trying to make sure that there are as little hurdles as possible that make it just a lot easier for me to get up in the morning. I'm probably going to wear my running clothes to bed. So I'll sleep in my running clothes so I can just get up, have something to eat, freshen up a little bit, and then head out to the starting line. So that's my plan. But let me know, what do you think is better? If you've run a 50k at this time of the morning, maybe you've had to camp out, what's your experience been like? You know, it's a 5 a.m. start, so that means I'd like to be at the start line at least half an hour before, so at 4:30, and that just that limits my options. At least for me it does. Maybe for you it's different. I'd love to know what it is. Let me know through comments, messages, a pigeon, flying pigeon, messenger pigeons if you want to. Which I'm not quite sure how they know where I am. If you know where I am. Okay, cool. Thanks everyone. Can't wait to hear your thoughts on car camping.